Hi, and welcome back to the Dr. Ramsey Show. Today you're going to hear from Dr. Minkoff, and I hope you enjoy. Thank you. Again, this is Dr. Minkoff. He is the physician that taught me about the Perfect Aminos that all of you guys love so much. We're just going to see what more we can get from Dr. Minkoff as far as what he knows about these aminos. So they are our number one seller in our clinic. And patients have questions for you.
All right.
So here's the first one. An athletic woman weighs 140 pounds. And she was taking a specific dose that wasn't working for her. She asked me what I thought. What would your dose be in tablets for a 140-year-old female athlete?
Minimum 10 tablets all at once a day. Depending on her other protein intake, I'm trying to get people to a gram per pound total of protein. Mm-hmm. So if she's not eating enough, then 10 more tablets equals 30 grams of like a meat-based protein. Mm-hmm. So I just supplement, if she weighs 140 pounds and that's her lean body weight, I'd target for somewhere in the neighborhood of 140 grams of protein. Now that's a lot.
Yes.
But if you took 10 grams of Perfect Amino, that's 30 of it. If you took another 10 grams, that's another 30 of it. So now you're down to 80. And then if you have 2 meals where you have 50 grams of protein or 40 grams of protein, which is a reasonable size protein portion for an average person, you get there. It's very hard to do that with food because it's a lot of calories.
Excellent. Yeah.
And it's hard to do it, especially if people are trying to do intermittent fasting also. If they're down, if they're eating in an 8-hour window or 6-hour window, you just can't get enough in.
I agree. And why do you say 10 at once? Like, what if she split them up more? Is there a reason?
Because what has to happen is you've got to peak the blood level, which will then peak the cellular level. And you want them to arrive at the cell sort of in mass, because then it can use them and it can make protein. If you dribble them in, it doesn't happen as well. It probably isn't, it's not harmful, but it just works better if you do it as a bolus. So that'd be 2 scoops, and 6 ounces of water, shake it up, drink it down. It's easy.
I've noticed that, right? So I take the tablets. We'll talk about why in a minute, but like I have 5 in each one. I like to get 20 a day, but I was taking them 5 at a time. I did take 10 at a time last week, a couple of times. It made such a difference in my mind.
Yeah.
Really crazy. I love this product so much. Question number 2 has been asked by hundreds of people.
Yes.
How can we make the powder taste better?
Have they tried all the different powders?
Yeah. And some people love mocha, but nothing else. Some people love lemon and nothing else. So
here's what I do. So we're working on it. We have a new chocolate and a new vanilla, which tastes really good.
Fantastic.
And I've tested 4 new flavors today: a mango, a pineapple, 2 more. So the food chemistry is getting better.
Okay.
I find that I put, if you put 2 scoops in a shaker cup with a scoop of Reds, our BodyHealth Reds, it's easy. It tastes good, actually. So that's what I do.
I have it with the greens, and I'll be doing it for a couple of weeks, and I'm like, I have to go off to the tablets for a little bit, and then I have to come back. It's, it's nice to have both.
Yeah.
Have you ever thought of using monk fruit or erythritol as a sweetener?
We're going through a whole cycle now. So you mean because people don't like stevia?
That much, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So it's coming. It's coming.
What?
Be patient.
What was great, I love the coated tablets because they go down so much easier.
Yes.
I think it's safer. For me, I take them so quickly.
Yeah.
So that female athlete I told you about, she was still having post-recovery muscle pain, right? And I had her double it, and she doubled her dose, and she's totally fine. It's so dose related. I can't even believe it for myself.
Yeah. And most people need more than they take. So it's worth experimenting on what for your activity level, and for your gut and for the other proteins that you eat, what level is going to work for you? Because that's exactly right. That's good observation.
So that same 140-pound woman who's a vegetarian, you would probably have doubled it because she's not eating animal protein.
Yeah. I mean, I think For an average person, if you don't eat animal protein, or if you just go, the original studies were done where people ate fruits, vegetables, and grains, and then it required 30 grams a day of perfect amino to meet their actual requirements. So
Wow.
the grains, of course, inhibit amino acid absorption. The proteins in grains aren't very bioavailable, and they're leucine deficient and methionine deficient. So
Yes.
if you're vegetarian and you want to stay that way, just use extra perfect amino to get you where you want to go.
Yeah. And I work with that too. I just think an animal diet is better for most of us. What do you think of the carnivore diet?
I think that some people who are really intolerant to various vegetable and fruit lectins may feel really good for a while. I think it's a bit restrictive.
I
And
know.
I have one patient who's 3 pounds of hamburger every day. That's all she eats, 3 years. And I just got back her big panels, and she's not deficient in anything, and that works for her. But I don't think it works for most people. And even the carnivore himself, he added fruit and raw dairy and
Yes.
honey, and
Right.
because it wasn't enough for him. So I
Mhm.
think, everybody's an individual, and maybe to solve a problem of food intolerance, it could be good for a while. I think
Mhm.
long term, it's more interesting, and it's probably better if you eat other stuff too.
Sure. Exactly. Exactly. What you just said, I have a question about is, so I have one person in particular that I'm thinking about. She has tried every single flavor of the powders and she doesn't like them yet until we get the new ones. And she cannot swallow a tablet. She wants to take them desperately.
Well, she can crush them.
And do they have any taste?
Bitter. The amino acids are
Okay,
bitter.
okay,
That's
okay,
the problem.
okay.
So
I should have done
she
that
could,
before I talked to you.
yeah. So she can crush them, and some people add a little honey water. Some people, we used to give it to some babies that were real malnourished, and we'd sweeten it with a little bit of honey,
Honey water.
and
Yeah,
that was palatable. Um,
good
sometimes,
idea.
sometimes if you add cinnamon, it might disguise the taste some.
Okay.
So,
That's good ideas. Yes. Okay. I didn't think about that for her.
yeah.
You said something earlier about how much your gut needs. Can you expand on that with aminos and gut health?
Well, your gut is supposed to turn over every 4 or 5 days where you get a new lining.
Yes.
So in the gut are the most, um, the amount of free radical activity that goes on with acids, then alkali, then bacteria, then their products. The gut lining gets us huge workout, sort of biochemical stress and toxic stress. You know,
Hmm.
virtually all the food we eat has glyphosate and chemicals and
Right.
pesticides. Those are poisons to these gut endothelial cells. They break down the tight junctions. So the gut really is the interface with everything that you put in your mouth. And if you have not enough amino acids, essential amino acids coming in your diet, the protein turnover rate in your body is going to be low or lower
Yes.
than it should.
Mm-hmm.
So it means slower wound healing. It means reduced enzymes.
Mm-hmm.
You could take this on practically every organ level. And
Yes.
if
Mm-hmm.
you supply enough amino acids, essential amino acids, or excess so that there's no doubt, then everything can do what it's supposed to do that it needs amino acids for without a weight.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I had a personal example of this, which drove it home to me, which was I was a vegetarian thinking I was eating enough protein, doing Ironman training, and I got an injury and had a hamstring that couldn't heal, and did everything I could to try to make it heal, and it wouldn't heal. And I was experimenting with the amino acids at the time, and I started taking them in large quantities. and my hamstring healed in like very quickly, 6 weeks.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, the other thing that happened is I gained 9 pounds of lean body mass over the next few months. And why did I gain 9 pounds of lean body mass? Now, I didn't look different. My waist didn't measure differently and my chest didn't measure differently. I hadn't put on a lot of excess muscle mass, but I weighed more. Now, where'd it come from? It came from bone and organs, and my body was deficient in these things, and it was making do. The weak link for me was my hamstring muscle. But once I supplied enough amino acids, that weight came up, the organ weight came up, and the body then had its full complement of whatever genetically I'm endowed for. So I think that it's worth even overdoing it a while when people start, because you can just see how far can you go, and you can really be impressed that, wow, this is really a different body, because
Absolutely.
now everything is working the way it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm. I know I see this all the time, and I just want to thank you. Really, this phone call was to thank you and learn more, obviously, but how much our patients, because we have very healthy patients, really high profile people, and they appreciate it more than you would realize.
Great.
The healing is crazy. You know, I
Great.
feel like my subcutaneous tissue is even tighter, like taking all these amino acids,
Yeah.
like musculoskeletal wise, obviously, and
Yeah.
the flexibility I have in yoga. I don't know if that's aminos, but I take so many more now, and it's changed my practice.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And women, I mean, there's a gazillion women out there, not so much men, but women with osteopenia or osteoporosis.
Sure.
They
Mm-hmm.
need protein. They need protein. And you can take all the calcium you want, it won't do it. You need amino acids, and it will heal, and some stress for the bones, but it's things that people don't think about. I saw a guy today. He's 33 years old, and he was having tremendous amounts of anxiety, and we found all kinds of stuff on him, Lyme disease and all this other stuff. But today I got back his nutritional panel, and he was extremely deficient in amino acids and extremely deficient in neurotransmitters. No wonder he was having anxiety. There's no GABA in his brain hardly at all. And the main area of his amino acid deficiency was in the whole detox system. And so, he was working in construction and had a lot of exposure to stuff, and he couldn't detoxify it. And that's what made him sick. And so he's been now, this was a 6-week visit for him, and he's been taking 20 Perfect Amino a day. And we did a symptom score. We do a symptom score when they come in, and he was 79 when he came in. And today he's down to 29. He's like, man, my energy's coming back. I'm starting to feel better. My bloat is gone. I feel like I'm coming back. And that's, it's a lot of it was just nutritional deficiency in a guy that if you saw him walk across the parking lot, he was lean, muscular looking guy.
Wow.
And, not a couch potato, did physical work all day long. And he's got his life back now.
Just didn't have the building blocks. Yeah. Wow. And that reminds me, I have this 18-year-old dancer who had a hip injury. After the first day of taking them, her hip started to heal.
Yeah.
Geez, it's so amazing.
Yeah.
So my last question is, I know that you have the detox spray if it upsets people's stomach. I don't hear that much, but once in a while I will hear a patient, and this is only a few patients have said it upsets their stomach, not the bubbly gut, but they can't even take it.
Wait, which detox spray?
I'm sorry, I didn't give him the spray.
No, which product are we talking about?
There was a product way in the beginning when I ordered from you that Chase Baldwin told me that if people get bubbly gut and they take this spray, it'll help it go away. It was like
Body Detox?
One more time.
Was it Body Detox or Metal Free?
Body Detox.
Okay, so Body Detox has been fixed.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
It's now called Heavy Metal and Chemical Detox. It's a completely new formulation. It's really good.
Mm-hmm.
The initial studies that we did on it showed that the amount of, if you just do a random urine check on someone and measure 24 different environmental toxins, including heavy metals, that on the average, you got about a 200% increase, up to 1,000% increase in glyphosate, chemicals, plastics, pesticides and it's a really good product.
Okay, good. Then I'll have to get that. So for those people who say it upsets their stomach, one particular said it exacerbated reflux.
It is a completely different product. The old product is no more.
Okay.
So it's called metal free and chemical detox.
Okay. So
And
we'll get those for those patients.
I haven't heard anything from anybody on problems with it.
Yeah. In fact, what you just said is going to heal the gut the longer we take it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is what I understand. For everybody who doesn't like the taste, we're coming out with new ones.
Yeah.
They can add some cinnamon. They could crush up the tablets, add some honey.
Yep.
And then we have this spray now that I'll order from you for those few patients that it doesn't tolerate well in their gut.
Yeah. It's actually a liquid. It's a dropper now.
Okay, good. And is that good otherwise for other reasons? Like what would you prescribe?
It's good for anybody because everybody's full of this stuff.
Everyone I test is full of it. Absolutely.
They're full of it. So I just do it. If you're sick, you take it. And if you, for a maintenance, you take it.
Yeah.
1 to 2 drops
take it
twice a day. It's, the stuff just pours out of you when you take this stuff. It's amazing.
You said 1 dropper twice a day?
I usually take 2 droppers twice a day.
Twice a day. Okay. Yeah, I'll get that in and see.
Try it. Start with 1. Make sure you're okay with it, but then you can go up. It's very safe.
Yes. Yeah. My mother-in-law who's on statins and multiple medication use and fatigued all the time. And I said, I just want you to take these amino acids, at 15 a day. She's not that big, but I just wanted to get in front of her. And I gave her some magnesium and she's a new person. Like I see her and she has energy. She's not complaining. It's so nice.
Wow.
80 years old.
Yeah. They're all these older people are super high risk.
Yeah.
Because they have a piece of toast and a coffee for breakfast.
Exactly.
They don't eat.
The sad diet. And, the way I think, Dr. Minkoff, is because I'm a hormone expert, like estrogen protects our bones. Do you think a woman who doesn't take estrogen could have strong bones just by using the Perfect Amino?
It depends on their age, but it certainly wouldn't help. I mean, it certainly would help to take estrogen. I mean, the Alzheimer's risk is cut in half on women, postmenopausal women who are on bioidentical hormones have 50% less risk of Alzheimer's than those who don't take it. Okay? It's just like a no-brainer. If you want to be young, you need young hormones.
Exactly, including heart disease cuts that in half too. Yep.
Exactly.
Yeah, we think so much alike. Your clinic's a little different. You have more sick patients than I do, but you help them with non-chemicals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mentioned you to so many patients just because you've inspired me with this, and I just wanted to really thank you for that.
Well, thank you. I'm touched and I'm honored, and it's very kind of you. And it's my mission, and man, it's fun to hear people get gains from it. I love it.
Yeah, I thought I was the best doctor I could be until these came into my life, and I realized what I was missing.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, thank you for your patience on Zoom for me today. Appreciate that.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
My bad. But have a good night. I didn't want to take too much of your time.
Okay.
Ciao. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed the conversation. If you have any questions, please send them to me. I'll reach out to Dr. Minkoff, and enjoy the rest of your week. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.